Just giving the horse box a wee clean up. So it was used obviously for the bulls. So just giving it a wash, disinfect, and I will then be taking some lambs in it this afternoon. And hopefully, if I can do this right, ta-da! As if by magic. Nice and clean again, ready to float some lambs. Got 12 lambs picked out yesterday to go to the abattoir this afternoon. And I don't know, I went and looked at my weaned lambs last night and I don't think they've taken as big a hit as what I think. I think they were just the right time to get weaned, and then, you know, they've got onto a nice wee fresh bite and they've kept going. So I think I'm going to take them in this morning and run through them as well. I mean, there's only 60 or something like that to pick from in that lot. Now the youngest batch of ewes and lambs. I'm going to go through them as well because Dad went round in this morning to check them and he was like, I could be surprised at how many we get here. So I messaged to see if he can take more and he says yeah, he's got space for more today. So I'm going to quickly run through this, guys, see how many lambs are left here, because I think there's 90 something ewes here. B, see what like weights are, and if there's any lambs ready I'll send them today. And I'm still contemplating weaning them as well because we've got the other park reseeded down the road, which is slightly further on, just because it's like slightly lower down. So I'm in two minds whether I'm like, do I just bite the bullet with this lot too and get them weaned? Yeah, I'm gonna nip them down, nip through them, and see what like. It's hard to tell. You look at them and think, maybe just struggling, and then you look at another one and think, oh, surely you are. Come by. Slightly heavier as well now. You'd love to stay on here, wouldn't you, lass? Fresh nibble. That'll do, Rocks, that'll do. That'll do. That'll do. Oh, bloody lovely. Right, so sheep are in. Let's set this up. Right. I actually need to set up out here as well. ID required, drafting. What day was it I did that? Increase that weight. I need them 5. Next 6. This here. Bring this back a bit. There. Here. Back. 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 Shh, 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 shh. One last. One, Mommy. Shh, shh, shh. One last. Shh, 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 shh. So I'm using the remote to shed the ewes off. I mean, I could just leave it to do everything and just stand back, but I'm not really needing the ewes weighed and they're tag shed at the moment, so I'm only wanting to catch the lambs. So I'm just working the shedding gate for the ewes just to keep the flow going, and then obviously picking out any lambs that are potentially to weight. This is just giving me an idea of what their weaning weights would be as well, to see if I should be weaning them. So there is obviously a few small ones in amongst them. The majority I'm quite happy with the weights at the moment. It is quite noisy, as you can hear, but I've got Roxy and Tara at the back keeping them up. Come on, girls. Come on, girls. These lambs are still coming off their mothers, obviously, so I'm hoping that they'll still be killing out quite well. I'm marking anything on the bum that's nearly to weight, not quite, just so when you see them you can get sort of like a rough idea of who's next heaviest. Come on, Lammy. this is the lambs that I've just weaned. They'll be going to fresh grass. They're averaging just over 36 kilos. So weaned them is about 240 I think here. And then got a draw of 42 here out of them. So they'll be heading off farm this afternoon. I'm gonna go through the other weaned lot and just see if there's anything there as well. But yeah, pleased with how they've done actually. They've also been fattening off of fresh air. See how this goes, because moving lambs by themselves is a nightmare usually. That'll do! Another batch weaned. So I've pulled out a few ewes that are just a wee bit leaner or have got sore feet. So I've sorted them and left some ewes with the lambs, just because if you've ever tried to shift newly weaned lambs, oh, it's not simple. It's not simple. So I'm just going to pop these ewes back up to the hill where there's a bit more of a breeze. Because there's flies on the go today. We don't like flies. So just took down the last 60-ish lambs of the earlies that I weaned last week. I've just gone through them again. And I'm actually quite surprised I got another 26 out of the 60, I think it said 66 actually, already. So they're going off farm this afternoon. And then this few that are here, that's my wee hoggy. She's still got her wee lammy, who's actually weighing 31 kilos. Quite chuffed with that. Anyway, so these lambs will be going with the other lambs that I weaned this morning. I'm just going to run them all as one batch. It's just easier because there's only 40 here, so no point in having a field of 40 and then a field of 200. So put them all together. That'll just make it easier for running them in. And then put the Texels. I've got them separate, so they'll stay separate now. And would you believe it? Horrible misty start to the morning. But we now have a wee bit of blue sky and a bright shiny thing in the sky. Oh, long may this continue. Although it does say that we might get a yellow warning for rain. Great, just what we're needing. Get a nice couple hours of sun and then whew, back to absolute pissing rain. Great. Anyway, that's another 80 lambs ready to head off this afternoon. Price $6.40 this week. We've gone from no flies to all the flies. Look at them all. Stinking things. Horrible. Got the early ewes and the Texels in, so I'm going to be going through them. They won't be quite dried off yet, but anything that I know, like definitely from lambing time or whatever, that's got a bad udder and is okay to go, I'll be sending it off for. And anyone that I just don't want to breed with again, put them onto a slightly barer field for just now, because like, yeah, they're eating good grass at the moment, so they're gonna go onto like a wee bit of hill ground just to dry off properly, and then they'll come down, lower down as we get closer to tupping, and they'll get better grass to try and give them that flush of eggs before, well, as the tups go in. So put them on and get a wee bit of a flush just before, and then tups go in, and then hopefully they'll all have twins. So for the mules, I'm putting them out 8-3 because I want to know them as my early batch. I'm also just giving them a wee mark if they're okay, because then when they go to mix with another batch of ewes later today, I know that these were my early tuck ones because I want to tuck early again. So I'm just checking others just now. I will go through them again because there's a lot of them, a few of them are still quite full obviously from just getting weaned. But a lot of them are dry because obviously the lambs have been doing for the past 6 weeks. So, just checking them. If there's any that are thin as well, I'll pick them out and leave them on back in the dry. Texels, they're going out gate 1 just again so I can assign them to the texel route. So just gone through all the ewes, gone through all the early ewes and the texels. So these are the ones that I'll be keeping at the moment. They all seem to be fine. They'll be going up to a drier sort of field where there's sort of like less grass, just to not get them to too fat, but just enough to keep them ticking over, and then they'll come closer to hand as it gets closer to tupping time. You're always looking for sweeties, aren't you? Babe. Set up the foot bath again. So just gonna open the gate and let these guys all go through. Put all these guys through. Obviously just to keep their feet right. That can be a potential risk for fly strike starting. If they have a bad foot, fly obviously smells it, goes to the foot, lays the eggs. Then when they lie down, their leg is obviously up against their side, rubs on their side, maggots then go on their side, up their back, on their shoulders, whatever. So yeah, just keep on top of the feet because that'll save a lot of problems. I also get asked a lot what I put in the foot bath. So currently here is clean water and formalin. I have not been known to put some like fairy liquid in just to try and help it stick to their feet for a wee bit. Haven't done that recently actually. And if they're threatened to go in, or if they're splashing and wasting a lot of it, you can always put a bit of wool down or some straw, just anything. Just keep it clean regularly, and as long as they just gradually walk through it, then started today with what I thought was 12 lambs going to be going, and I was all set to take them in our float to the abattoir later, and I've now finishing the day with 80 going, just over 80. So yeah, it's been surprising. Lambs have been fattening on fresh air, it would seem. Just got everyone back to their fields, weaned the lambs, etc. So I'm just going to go and gather up the pet lambs now, take them across the loading bank, and I've organised a float to come for the lambs because there's too many for me to run in my float. It means I have to run twice, so I've just got a float and he'll just nip them all in at once, it'll be fine. Sit down. This is the ewes and lambs that Davy looks after up in the hills. So they're just going back to a different hill now after they've been shorn. It was such a nice night, so I didn't want to miss the opportunity to take my drone up and try and get some nice footage of Davy's ewes and lambs coming out over the top of the hill. Well, thank you as always for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. As you can see, the sun is still shining after a very long night of heavy rain, but it's dry and it's sunny now. That's the main thing. I hope you've had a lovely weekend, and we'll see you for the next one.